going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of OCRC BTS. Alright, well, it's been a minute since we've done a BTS, and I thought with a new studio space, what better time to give it a go. So if you've been following on my Instagram, you know that it's a modest space, it's a small space, but we're trying to make it work a bit here. We still have some lighting to figure out with shadows and whatnot, but if this is what it is, then all in all, it is looking pretty good, and we're pretty excited about that. BTS is about behind the scenes stories, pieces of information that went into the production of the podcast in the past, or also stuff that's coming in the future. So we wanted to take an opportunity to do just that and talk a little bit about what's coming up on the next podcast. Well, the first thing is the Element Builders Kit 2 is almost done, and we have 48 pitch pinion gears to go in. What, you ask? Well, we did bring it along, and now this is the first time I'm showing this on social so far outside of just the chassis, but we have the bead locks on the builder's kit, and as you can see, I think they're looking pretty good. We're not going to plug the name of them. They are in fact not the Enjoras, like you may have seen on the social feed there earlier. They're another manufacturer, but we're not going to plug them right now just because that's how I'm going to roll. But I just wanted to show them to say, man, I love bead locks. The process of putting them together, the process of it's a very zen thing to put bead locks and mount them on a wheel, on a tire. And I never would have thought that, but it really is. So I'm really stoked about this. We've got the Holmes Hobby 8-turn Trailmaster in there. So super stoked on that. We're gonna get it soldered up soon, and we're gonna get things hooked up and at least give it a go without the body. Now, as you may or may not know, the body for this bad boy is going to be a very special thing. Collaborative effort. RC Amigos Pablo Guerrero is actually building me a custom cage, and we're going to fit a very specific Lexan cab body to that truck, and we're going for a bit of a U4 feel. The 8-turn is going to give me a little more power, a little more pop, so we're going to talk a bit about that on the next podcast. So that's what's up on the bench. There's another box which I haven't opened, which I'm going to get into on the podcast, and it is, of course, nothing special in terms of being new or a complicated build. It's a TTO2 chassis. It is a Porsche chassis and is going to be, in fact, an on-road chassis. And we are hoping this summer we get out to the PTBO and we get to race it there. But we're also hoping for something else. We're in conversations right now with hopefully some potential partners to work on some stuff. But we will very, very shortly have an update on that. Pretty excited for that stuff. So cheers. Creemore, local. Creemore is a local brewery. Hopefully things come to fruition there. What else is going on? So the studio's here. We are trying to hook up with a couple individuals online and have some good conversations about some new things going on in the RC verse. It's called Toys WD. Now their Instagram account, Toys WD, would never think, okay, that's something to do with RC, but he's out of Barcelona, Spain. We've talked to him a little while, just trading texts. What primarily drew me to what he's doing is he creates, think of 3D puzzles. Now think of micro crawler obstacles that are constructed like 3D puzzles. Now I know you're thinking, Jeff, I'll get a slab of plywood and some spray foam and I'll make my own. Nothing wrong with doing that, for sure. In fact, much more cheap probably than buying pre-made kits. But this is pretty cool, and it's not like anything I've seen. The other one we're trying to hook up with is off-grid RC. All I'm gonna say is think RC Box Club for crawlers. I can't wait. I'm hoping we connect with these guys. I'm really trying to get them on the show because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Great stuff to think about. Before I go, I want to give a shout out to my man James Vicent for this body here. If you've never seen this body before, It was one I had commissioned by James for my son. Check out that artwork. Beautiful Rocket League insignia on the front. Big shout out to James, because without him and his talent, I wouldn't have that hanging on the wall here when I talk to you. So I'm really stoked about that. Just wanted to show it off and give him a shout out. Shout out to James for my shirt there too. He put that together for me about a few years. That's BTS for today. If you haven't listened to the podcast, get on over to Spotify, get over to iTunes, download it, subscribe so you don't miss an episode. I encourage you to do so. A new episode should be dropping, I'm hoping, early next week. If you haven't listened to last week's, please get on there. We have a great conversation with Pablo. We talked about a bunch of new releases in the RC industry. Just a lot of fun, guys. So that's what I'm here for, to have some fun. I'm not an expert on anything. I just like to talk RCs. I like to have guests on who know a lot more than I do. So until then, we'll see you again. This is BTS, O Canada RC, at O Canada RC on Spotify, on Instagram, and on iTunes. We'll see you next time.